get accounts. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, babies and elephant, welcome to a new video. Boss Lee here, and today I want to introduce you to a new build. It's not new build, but it's called the Animate Weapon Physical build. Now, if you're looking for a build, right, to actually give you stress-free farming, a good league start, budget, if you're on a budget, you know, and you want to tackle the end game, mid game, or early game, this is definitely the build for you, and you came to the right place. So in the new 3.10 Delirium, this build is actually quite cool because if you understand the mechanic, it's something like the breach mechanic where they expand to the whole map, and as you kill, the further you go, the more rewarding rewards that you will actually get. So that's when the minion comes into play. So basically this build is mainly focused on zombies and animate weapons. These are the two minions that you'll be focusing on mostly. And I would say so far for me it's quite enjoyable. This build is not actually 100% perfect for now, but it's doing pretty well for me. I can pretty much, as you can see in the showcase earlier, right, you can pretty much melt bosses like, you know, without any problems. In terms of clear speed, I will find it decent. I wouldn't say it's the best clear speed out there. There are many builds out there that gives you much better clear speed, but this one does a decent job, okay? The only downside I see with this build, to be honest with you, is that every minute or so you need to resummon your animate weapons, but that can be, you know, resolved later on as you have better gears and stuff, that you don't actually have to animate your weapons until when you're going up against bosses and stuff. Pretty much when your zombies can clear everything else. But all in all, I would say it's a very comfortable build to play with, and it actually does the job very well. So let's get into it. Let's start by looking at the Ascendancy first. So definitely we're going to pick Witch Summoner. So Witch Summoner has a lot of these Ascendancies that gives you boost for your minions. First off, you might want to take note is I went for mindless aggression first. So when you first go for the trials, the first thing you want to go for mindless aggression. So you go for mindless aggression here. Then the next node that you want to get is you can actually go for Commander of Darkness. The reason why I chose this as the second node that to go for is because this one gives me more increased damage for my minions, and also gives them attack speed, and also it gives me and the minions more resist, because you know you want to have more survivability in the build. All your DPS will be coming from your minions, not from you. How I play this is that I don't cast any skills for damage, I just run around. So my job is just to survive, and the minions will do their job by killing everything else for me. So 30% elemental resist will be very important. So that's why I went for Commander of Darkness. And then after that, you want to go for a natural strength, which gives you extra 2 levels to all your minion gems. And lastly, you can have 2 choices you can go for. The last one you want to get is you can either go for Mistress or Sacrifice. But at the moment now, I'm not running on Flesh Offering, so this is not the most important one for me. I might go for Bone Barrier next. Bone Barrier is a skill that gives you quite a good it's a very good defensive skill. They did nerf it a little bit in this league, but still it's a pretty good build, pretty good skill. So grants you level 20 Bone Armor skill. It gives you additional physical reduction and also recovery rate on your life, and your minions have more life. So this is for the Ascendancy side. Now I just want to go through, because since this is a league starter build, I want to go through more on the league starting tips, like in terms of leveling. Let me just turn on D&D. So in terms of leveling and in terms of gears, choices and stuff like that, I want to go through the leveling part first, okay? So the leveling part is pretty simple. From the beginning stage, I actually have notes here that I'm going to put it up on the YouTube description down below. So I'm just going to pull it up here so you can have a look. So first of all, when you kill Hillock, when the very beginning part of the game, when you kill Hillock, the first skill gem that you want to pick as your reward, you want to pick Raise Zombie. Raise Zombie will be helping you a lot. After that, you can go purchase the Ethereal Knives as the skill that you can use, because basically how the mechanic works is because of the new mechanic that they added, that you can use Blade Blast, where the blade skills will leave will leave blades behind. You can actually summon the animate weapons from those blades, rather than summoning from a weapon that's dropped on the floor. Because before this league, during 3.9 and before, you can only summon animate weapons from weapons on the ground, and it has to be identified as well, which makes it kind of not the best choice to pick. But now, since they buffed animate weapons a lot, I would say this is a very cool mechanic to play with, and you can actually use the blades that's left behind to summon them as your animate weapons. So that's why you need to pick ethereal knives. After that, you want to purchase animate weapon as soon as you can. Animate weapon, you can get it pretty soon, I believe in level 1 or level 4. Okay, and then the next step after that, you want to pick up Phantasm support. So you want to link Phantasm support to your animate weapon or your raised zombie. So whenever the raised zombie kills an enemy, it will summon a Phantasm, which is a minion as well, will help you with your DPS, and you can link it with ethereal knives as well. So you can either choose to link your Phantasm support to the zombies, or you can link it to the ethereal knives, both, in which whenever you kill enemies, it will summon more phantasms for you. After that, you want to pick Flame Dash as your mobility skill, your travel skill, so you can blink around. And then after that, you want to buy minion damage and then Clarity Aura. I use Clarity Aura in this build. So Clarity Aura is actually an aura that gives you mana regeneration. The reason why I need mana regeneration is because you'll be constantly summoning animate weapons a lot, and you want to have those mana regen so you can keep spamming and summoning them to reduce the time you have to spend to summon them, and also you have reserve mana for your other auras as well. That's why I use Clarity. It helps a lot. So after you got Clarity Aura and your minion damage output should be pretty good. After that, you want to go kill the last boss and get Flesh Offering and link it to your zombies, or whichever you want. So overall, you want to have minion damage and summon phantasms. Okay, so that's like the early stage of the build. Next, you want to go for Desecrate. You want to get Desecrate if you can. So Desecrate will help you summon more zombies if you need, or you can use for your Flesh Offering as well. It's supposed to link with your Flesh Offering. And you want to pick Death Mark as soon as you can. So Death Mark is actually a skill that it marks the enemy, that all your minions will target that enemy, and after that, you will take increased damage as well. And then after that, you want to take Convocation, and then from there, you want to take Raise Spectre and Bladefall, and so on and so forth. So this is like the brief information I want to give you for the leveling part, just for the beginning. I feel that I should explain more on the gears first and come back to this. I should explain more about the gear build and the skill tree and the skill gems first, and then I'll come back to this, and this will make more sense to you. Okay, so let's go through with this the gear choices first. So in terms of gear, I actually pick Famous of the Saints. So bear in mind, all the gears here, I would say most of them I picked them up. Other than that, the uniques I bought them. So it cost me in total to buy the stuff that I need less than 10 chaos. So it's pretty budget friendly, to be honest, for the beginning part. The only thing I bought was the Family of the Saints and the Baron. Other than that, I bought this one as well, the Corrupted chest, which is about 10C. So your budget is about 20C. So this one is a 6-link Corrupted. You can use the Tabula Rasa if you want, or you can pick a 6-link armor. But I will always go for a 6-link armor because you give you more stats. But if you already have a Tabula Rasa, of course, the only perk of having it is because you can use it on level 1. So I picked Family of the Saints. The reason why is because this one gives you 2 level to Succubus Minion Gems. And then all your minions will deal increased 61% damage. And this one will give you increase of life regeneration per zombie that you have, which is cool. So that's the reason why I picked Family of the Saints. As for the helm, I picked the Baron because the Baron is always giving you 2 level to Succubus Minion Gems as well. Minions have more life. Half of your strength goes to your minions, which is really cool because if most of the gems that you're using, it requires a lot of strength, and your strength is added to your minions as well, which gives your minions more strength, meaning more life and more damage. So that's the reason why I use the Baron. As for the armor, you can go for any 6-link. It doesn't have to be a 6-link, but of course it's a choice. You can go for a 4-link or a 5-link if you want. I'll explain to you why in a second. Like 6-link is when you want to maximize your animate weapon damage. If you can go for 5-link, you can. You can even go for a 4-link if you want. Okay. In terms of the amulet, the reason why I picked this one is because I want to cap my res. At the moment now I have max cap res, like 75 on all my res, and you want to have the attributes as well because you need dexterity to cast certain spells. Like animate weapon requires a certain amount of dexterity, and also the resistances that the amulet is giving me. I'm pretty sure there are much more better choices in terms of amulet out there, but it's still very new for me, and I'm pretty sure everyone here is still very new as well. So we are moving forward now, and as soon as I can min-max the gear I have, I'll post another build guide for it as well. So then the rings you want to get mainly go for life and resist, and if you can, get some dexterity out of it because you will need the dexterity for your enemy weapons. So life and resist, same thing goes for here. As for the gloves, nothing too fancy. Life, resist as well. As for the belt, I got a Stygian Vice. I got this one, and then I got a tier 1 life roll on it, which is really lucky. And also some resist here and there. And the boots as well, some resist and move speed and life as well. So generally, as you can see, it's all like life, resist. It's all survivability now, because now it's still very early into the league. And later on, you can just min-max your gears. So these are the gear choices that I have for you. Pretty much you can get anything. I would say this build, you can even go like really crappy gear and you can still have a decent amount of damage output. As long as you're playing through the storyline, this will never be a problem for you without having max cap res or anything. This is like you want to have these gear choices because you want to do maps. But if you're going for the normal quest line or storyline, all this res doesn't make much of a difference for you. You don't have to worry so much about that. So you want to get all these gears that I'm having right now, or better, when you're going for mapping. Okay? So that's for the gear part. Now I want to go through the skill gems for now. So the skill gems I've linked for my weapon. Wait, for my weapon. Just 1 second here. Okay. So for my weapon, I'm linking here, which is the Race Zombie, linked with melee physical damage, Feeding Frenzy, and minion speed for attack speed. Reason why I picked Feeding Frenzy, because I want my zombies to be aggressive, so that's why I gave them Feeding Frenzy, which is really helpful with for the clear speed. As for the helm, I'm using Leap Slam, because I'm not using any, Flame Dash. I'm using Leap Slam. You can use Leap Slam if you want. You can use Flame Dash if you want. It's totally up to your personal preference. I like Leap Slam because I like to leap around. I can spam it as well. So that's the reason I went for Leap Slam. Animate Guardian. This one is later on. You can't really use it until at least level 38. I might be wrong. I'm sorry if I am wrong. But I believe it's around 30-ish. So it's definitely not something that you can pick up very early in the game. So Animate Guardian is what you want later on. Dread Banner, because this is a full physical build, so I'm going for full fizz and impale. Impale, they actually buffed the impale in this league, and impale is going to be insane in this build because it stacks damage as the more hits they make, right? So impale is definitely something that you want to put in with any physical build. So Dread Banner gives me impale chance. And also Ray Spectre is linked to it as well. So Ray Spectres, the reason why I picked Ray Spectres is because Ray Spectres, you can pick 2 different types of minions as the Ray Spectre that is very useful for this build. One, you can have the Host Chieftain and the Carnage Chieftain. Now, if you can see here, the Carnage Chieftain and the Host Chieftain is the monkey, the ape here. So Carnage Chieftain actually gives frenzy charges to all your minions and yourself. Host Chieftain gives you power charges to all your minions and yourself, which gives them a huge damage boost. So these 2 Spectres are what you really want. If you can summon up to 3 Spectres, you will want to have... personally, I go for 2 Carnage Spectres and 2 Carnage Chieftains and 1 Host Chieftain, because for me, the frenzy charges is much more important than the power charge. So the power charge actually gives you crit chance, whereas the Frenzy Charge gives you attack speed and damage. So that's the reason why I went for Frenzy Charges. The gem links for the armor will be Brutality, because this one gives me more physical damage because I'm not doing any elemental damage. It's pure Fizz. Impale support, 100%. Minion damage, multi-strike, and then Death Mark, linked with Animate Weapon. So if you were to go for a 4 link, you can go for Animate Weapon, Minion damage, Impale, and Death Mark. If you want to go for a 5 link, you can add in Brutality, and then the last one you want to put in Multi-Strike. So Multi-Strike will be your last priority in that sense. That's my suggestion for you. So as for the gloves, you can have, I use Convocation, Flesh and Stone, Pride, and Summon Carrion Golem. So Convocation is very important in this build because most of the time you'll be running around, and Convocation recalls all your minions to you, which helps you clear wherever you are, and also gives them life regen, so it's really cool. So Convocation is something that you really want to put in. And then after that, I use Flesh and Stone just because of the maim, and nearby enemies take more physical damage because of the maim. Pride, because it's a debuff for nearby enemies to have taken up more physical damage. And then Carrion Golem gives you more flat fizz to your minions, and also it gives your Carrion Golem, actually helps out with the DPS output. As for the boots, I'm using Spell Cascade linked with the Blade Fall, and then Clarity. So Clarity, as I mentioned before, it's for the mana regeneration that you need, because you are going to be constantly spamming summoning your enemy weapons when their cooldown is finished and when the duration is off. About 60 seconds. It's about 58.4 seconds. Approximately about 60 seconds. So you need Clarity. Clarity will be very helpful for you. Spell Cascade linked with Blade Fall. So now, why do we use Blade Fall? So how the mechanic works is, when you use Blade Fall, let me show you, okay? So when you cast Blade Fall, you'll cast a bunch of blades on the ground, and you see all the blades that are stuck on the ground? Those are the blades that you can summon for your Animate Weapon. So you just click Animate Weapon on it, and then it will summon like this. See? So you don't have to use any weapons on the ground anymore. You can just use the blades that's fallen to the ground to summon all these minions up. And there you go. So now at the moment I can summon up to 15 Animate Weapons, 8 zombies, and 3 Spectres and 1 Carrion Golem. So it's approximately about 27 minions in your army. Pretty cool. So Blade Fall, you can just keep it at level 1. You don't have to have it at high level, because, as I said again and again, you're not relying on the damage from the Blade Fall, you're relying on the damage from the minions. So Blade Fall is just purely for you to summon the Animate Weapons. Spell Cascade is because that increases the area of the effect of your Blade Fall, so that you can summon more blades, like it's easier to see, and there's more blades on the ground, so it makes it faster for you to summon all your Animate Weapons. And Clarity, yeah. So these are the gem links that I'm using right now. So I want to go through the skill tree for you now. So the skill tree, you're going to be starting off over here, and then you want to go this way and go for some minion damage first, and go for Deep Wisdom. After that, you want to go for more survivability, okay? So you want to pick up the life nodes here, go all the way here, and then the next part, after this part, you want to go all the way to get Enduring Bond first, because this one will help you increase the skill effect duration for your Animate weapons, and also it gives your minions more damage as well, so it increases your DPS output for your minions. And if you use a minion skill recently, minions get additional 20% increased damage as well, because you're going to be constantly spamming summoning your Animate Weapons. So this is pretty much always up all the time by having the increased damage for you, which is what you want to go for after that. So after that, you want to go down here and get some life nodes down here, and then you can pick up Lord of the Dead as well along the way. This one will give you more life and more damage, and it gives you additional zombies as well. Okay, after that, you want to move downwards and go for Sacrifice. So Sacrifice gives your minion more life, more regen, more survivability, and elemental resist for your minions. After that, you can move down to get Spiritual Command to give your minions more attack speed. and then move down the Retribution, gives your minions more damage, and then pick up the few life nodes here. It's like 5, 10, and 5, so that's 20% increased life over here. And then you can move down and get Sanctity, and then after that move downwards and get Grave Pact. Grave Pact gives you increased damage, and also it gives a chance for your minions to deal double damage. Okay, and then after that, you can move downwards and pick up all the life nodes here. Because at this point, you will have more than enough DPS to kill bosses and minions and your enemies. So you want to have more survivability at this point. At this point, you'll be probably about level 20-ish. That's where you want to pick up all the life nodes to give you more survivability before you go any further with more DPS for your minions. And then you want to pick up Shaper to give you so that you can pick up Indomitable Army, so that you get more life, more resist for your minions. Then you can go back over here on the left and pick up some devotions here for some more survivability for your character. And then you can move upwards and pick up Righteous Army, which gives you more increased maximum life and life regen. And then also pick Spiritual Aid, because Spiritual Aid will be very helpful because of the increased damage for the minions, and all the increased and reductions for your minion damage also affects you. And also increase the accuracy rating for your minions. And then you want to go up here and pick up the Purity of Flesh to get more life nodes over here. And then you want to go up here and pick up Fearsome Force, which gives you more area effect and more damage. And also, minions have increased 10% increased area effect if you use a minion skill recently, which again, you'll be spamming your animate weapons from time to time for every minute or so. So this one will be constantly up as well. And then you want to pick up Death Attunement, because this one gives you attack speed and cast speed and extra zombies and extra spectres. And then you want to pick up Cruel Preparation here. Here's like 5, 10, and 5, another 20% of life here. And then you want to go this way and pick up Grave Intentions, which gives your minions more chaos resist, and your minions will have 25% chance to gain Unholy Might, which is increased damage for them as well. And they're going to gain extra 10% of their life as energy shield, more survivabilities for your minion. And this is pretty much it for, at the moment now I'm at level 83. So these are pretty much the skills that you want to pick up for now. As the game progresses, as your character progresses, you want to pick up more life nodes, or you want to have more damage. At this point now, I want to pick up more survivability, so I'm going to go for more life nodes later on. But at this point now, this is quite sufficient now. I have like 4.1k health, and the DPS is pretty decent. As far as I check from POB, I get about 1.3 mil DPS at the moment now, which is pretty decent. I don't find any problems clearing bosses. I don't find any problems clearing maps. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so I want to go for the Pantheons. So the Pantheons, you want to go for Lunaris, because Lunaris gives you physical reduction for each nearby enemy up to 8%. So that's like 8% damage reduction there. And as for the small node, you want to go for Soul of Gruktul, because this one gives you, again, physical reduction for each hit you've taken recently up to 5%. So like 5% and 8%, that's like 13% physical damage reduction there, which helps you to survive a bit better. So I've already gone through the gears, I've already gone through the gemlings, I've already gone through the Ascendancy, I've already gone through the Pantheons and the skill tree. And lastly, I want to go back to what I was talking about before, which is the leveling guide. So it will make more sense to you now. So the next part is you want to take, let's create, let me just share the screen for you guys so you can see. Alright, so you can see here, so after that you want to pick Convocation, because you want to constantly bring them, the minions following you as well. And then you want to pick Bladefall as soon as you can to replace Ethereal Blades. So the beginning part, you'll be using Ethereal Blades to summon your animate weapons. But as soon as you can get Bladefall, Bladefall will be replacing the Ethereal Blades for your animate weapon summons. Because when you use Ethereal Blades, the summoning of the weapons is not that efficient compared to Bladefall, because the amount of blades on the ground is not as much as Bladefall. So I would say Bladefall would be a much better choice. You want to replace it as soon as you can. And then you want to pick up Carrion Golem. towards the end of the towards the end of the act, you are on Act 6. You want to get medium life and meat shield, and Animate Guardian you can get on around Act 6. So those are the things you want to pick up. So you want to pick up minion life, meat shield if you want. You can link it to your zombies, so they will be your meat shield. They'll tank damage for you. Or if you don't want, it's up to you. You want to have more DPS, then you go for minion damage. Animate Guardian, generosity. If you want melee physical damage, and then host carnage, host and carnage chieftain, when you can get it on Act 6. So you can get carnage chieftain on Act 2. Let me just show you in the map. So if you go to the map, it's in Act 2. Sorry, Act 2, the old fields. That's where you get the Carnage Chieftain. Okay? And when you go to Act 6, Riverways, that's where you get Host Chieftain. Okay? That's where you get your Spectres from. Moving back to the guide here. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, the stuff that you actually need. Right? So that will actually help you go through the whole game content all the way up to Act 10. Okay, one thing I want to let you know for the items for your Animate Guardian. So if you're going to have Animate Guardian, there are a few things you can pick up, which is rather cheap. You can pick up the weapon, which is called, let me see if I write it down here. Yep. So for the Animate Guardian gear, I have actually put in the information here in the notepad as well. So for the helm for your Animate Guardian, you want to have any helm that has this enchantment that gives nearby enemies gain has increased physical damage resistance reduction, like minus 9%, which means that you're doing more damage output. For the gloves, you can give him Southbound. So Southbound is actually a glove that the only thing you want for it is because it gives 12% maximum life. So it gives your Animate Guardian more life. For the boots, you really want to get Victorious Flight for him. Victorious Flight, if I'm not mistaken, is about 1 chaos or less. Gives all your minions and your character more move speed. Really cool. For the armor, you want to give him Belly of the Beast. Again, give him a lot more health, or Grukto's Pelt. And for the weapon, you want to give him Dying Breath Staff. Dying Breath Staff is really cool because it gives your minions extra damage, which is the blue staff, if you can see here, to the one that he's holding now. So it gives this one. Dying Breath grants increased damage for you and your minions. And Victorious Flight gives you more move speed for you and your minions as well. But you can go for Kingmaker ultimately, because Kingmaker gives all your minions Culling Strike and Fortify. But that one is way expensive, like it's more than Exalt for 1 now. So that's not something you want to look for it now. So we are going for the budget build, so this is what you really want. And the shield, you want to go for the Oak because of the huge life regen. And that's pretty much for the gears for the Animate Guardian. And last but not least, in terms of the bandits, you want to kill all the bandits and get the 2 extra points from Eramir. Just kill all the bandits. You don't have to save any of them. Just get all the bandits because you want the 2 additional skill points. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've covered everything for the build. I'll be coming up for the next part of this build. I'll be coming up when I min-max the gears that I have, and I have more DPS, and I'll put it out another guide just to min-max the gears. As for now, this is like a league starter build guide for you guys. If you guys have any questions about this build, or any questions about gear choices and whatnot, please feel free to drop a comment down below. And you can always come to my Twitch channel. My Twitch information is down below as well. They can come. I stream every day, 9 p.m. Asian time, GMT +8. You can always drop by and let me know anything that you want to share with me, or you have any suggestions about the build that you can think I can do better, because as I'm still learning for the build as well. If you have any suggestion or any advice, feel free to post your comments down below as well. Like and subscribe my channel if you like contents like this. I actually have a lot of build guides and tips and tricks and whatnot. Yeah. And thank you very much for taking up your time to actually watch this video. I hope you find this video helpful for you. I really hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and all the best in the league, and hope you guys get more exalts, you know. That's all for today. See you guys.